Welcome to the live stream. This is kind of a funny topic. Will Father James Martin be named a cardinal? Now, this isn't clickbait, so don't accuse me of that because I have it in the title. I don't think so. This was on an article, I believe it's in German, and it said that it threw in Father James Martin's name on the list of possible new cardinals. And so it also named Victor Fernandez, Carlos Castillo, Michel Apetit of Paris. And so this is this. There will be another consistory of cardinals, and that is likely to be on Sunday. I don't know if this is guaranteeing that or not. Now, Rorate Chaley posted this, and I think Rorate has a lot of credibility now that he was right whenever he said that there would be crackdowns on the Latin Mass. And so for this topic, Father James Martin being named a cardinal, I think a lot of people respect what he has to say, but I don't think I don't think that will be the case. I don't think Father James Martin will be cardinal. And I did a video about this, naming my possible candidates for cardinals. Now, I think it's possible there could be a German or two from the German synodal path. There could be a bishop from Australia, I believe Archbishop Mark Coleridge. He's been particularly heretical on Twitter. He's posted a lot of heretical tweets, and you can look through those, but he's certainly a likely candidate. But then, I guess if you look at it, like Father James Martin is just a priest, he's not a bishop. But there's some bishops saying the stuff that he says, and these are the German bishops. And so, what's the difference? What's the difference whether Father James Martin gets, um, you know, named a cardinal or not? And I see a comment that says His Eminence the Holy Kisser. Who is that? I'm not sure what his name is, but is that Fernandez? Is that who is the Holy Kisser? Anyway, um, he wrote a book about kissing. This guy's a priest. I don't know. But we're getting back to Father James Martin. He was named as a consultant to the Vatican's Dicastery of Communications in 2017 by Pope Francis. And then in 2021, Pope Francis sent a letter to Father James Martin saying Pope Francis supports Father James Martin's ministry. Father James Martin also met with Pope Francis a few years ago at the Vatican, and there was a photo, and Father James Martin tweeted out that Pope Francis supports him. So I don't. I mean, if it happens, would you be surprised? Not really, but at the same time, I would be because I think there's other heretical characters who Pope Francis wants to promote, namely Bishop McElroy in San Diego. He's only a bishop, not an archbishop, but I would think that he would be a likely candidate just because he fits the Francis model. If Francis is looking for someone in the United States, I don't think he is because I believe it was last year when Cardinal Gregory was named a cardinal, and that was probably for covering up for McCarrick and stuff. I've heard that Francis doesn't like Americans, so he may not want to name more American cardinals. Oh, he likes Americans though. He likes Supich a lot. He likes Tobin. It's really if he likes the Americans who have the who have are full. Let's see, completely sold out to the Francis Church, and Supich and Tobin are also supposedly in the McCarrick network, and Pope Francis seems to like the McCarrick network a lot. McElroy is in the McCarrick network as well. And I see a comment about McElroy and Stowe. Yes, Bishop Stowe. I don't know that he will be named a cardinal anytime soon. I think he's still in his mid 50s, which is really disgusting if you think about it for the church, especially the people of his diocese. That's going to be truly awful, and you really, really need to look into SSPX in that situation. Okay, so who else? Who else is likely to be named a cardinal? Well, they said the Bishop of Lima, Peru, Carlos Castillo. Um, I don't know. Was that the one? Did he ban Latin masses? I think it's really going to come down to which ones hate the Latin mass the most. Archbishop Alpetit of Paris. I think, was he the one that banned the FSSP from Paris before? Was that Paris? I don't know if that's Paris or not. Um, but I know that he had a crackdown on Latin mass in his diocese, Archbishop Alpetit, and so this article names him. And what about, how about this? Um, a Chinese cardinal, a Chinese patriotic cardinal. What do you think about that? This is what Breath of Fog has been telling me this, I believe, for a while, that there could be a Chinese patriotic um, cardinal or an expansion of the Chinese patriotic church. And really, if you look at it, I don't know. I mean, is it like all these guys promote LMNOP? All these guys promote communism. Father James Martin is not excluded from that. He's just a little more public in what he says. But Bishop McElroy has been saying exactly the same things Father James Martin has said. It's just that Bishop McElroy doesn't get on Twitter all the time and post all this heretical nonsense. He just says it in interviews. And so with Father James Martin, I mean, is either Father Martin or someone more heretical? I don't know. Um, or someone just as heretical, I guess I could say, because Father Martin is pretty heretical. But let's say he does get named a cardinal. So then what's going to happen? I think a lot of Americans, how would a lot of Americans react to this, to Father James Martin being named a cardinal? Um, I think that a lot of Americans would wake up. I think it would show that Pope Francis, and part of me wants Father James Martin to get named a cardinal. I just want Pope Francis to, like, I just want him to draw that line for everyone to see, okay, this is completely corrupt. Because, like, we've had Pachamama. Pope Francis has promoted Cardinal McCarrick until, was it the Washington Times that ran that article that opened the floodgates? But he promoted Cardinal McCarrick. He authorized that Vatican Chinese deal. He was promoting all these horrible people. Supich, obviously that's one example of a cardinal that a Francis cardinal, but a lot of Francis's cardinals are rotten, completely awful. Um, would it be communion for Protestants? Would a lot of people wake up for that? Because with the Amoris Laetitia, Pope Francis said, that the divorced and remarried can receive communion. And when people look at it, they're like, hey, I read the Bible and Jesus spoke out against that in the Bible. He said that they were in mortal sin. So, um, there's just this de emphasis of the Catholic faith, really. And where do you draw the line? Like, will people wake up? Will everyone wake up and say this is completely compromised if Pope Francis supports communion for Protestants, if he authorizes that? Will people wake up if Father James Martin is named a cardinal? Where they just say, oh, well, Pope Francis, it's a misunderstanding, they're both Jesuits? I think that's more likely to happen because there's a few people that are saying, oh, well, this would be the dividing line. Well, did he already cross the line? Because to me, it appears he did. And what about capital punishment? He said that we cannot support capital punishment. And just recently, I think there was some guy. Was he in? I'm just like, I don't have any sources right now at my fingertips, but there was some guy that I don't know if it was the USCCB or the Vatican. There was some guy in the United States who was on death row, and he had like, I think he had killed 3 people, and the Vatican was supporting uh, not to have the death penalty for this guy. And it's like, well, he already made his decision, you know. But I think it's just I don't know. I don't know what to think here because like when will people wake up? That's my question. When are people going to start waking up and seeing like this is completely compromised? Um, at this point, everyone is awake. More and more people say Francis is a heretic. Okay. Um, Maybe one of those Salvadorian bishops who don't even want the Latin Novus Ordo. Probably not, but El Salvador is the peripheries. So, I mean, sometimes throws some of those people in. McElroy went to war against EWTN. Well, I guess. I mean, Bishop McElroy, he went to war against the bishops too. I mean, he said that pro-life is not the preeminent priority of the USCCB, and everyone just let it slide. I mean, Bishop Strickland kind of stood up against that a little bit, but I would like to see bishops condemn these rotten bishops. And promoting Martin would be the indefensible crime that would probably cause a schism for the Americans, maybe. I think there's a lot of Novus Ordo Catholics who are not a fan of Father James Martin, and but like I said before, promoting him to Cardinal, like, what would they say? I think some of them would still make excuses, and at that point, like, you know, I've been naming all these things on this show. I've been naming all these problematic elements, and people still haven't woken up. And not that they're watching this show, but um, if they don't open their eyes to see what's going on, they continue to make excuses. Oh, it's a translation error. Oh, the media just misinterpreted. No, like after a certain point, you'd issue a clarification. So that's all. I think that's all I'm going to say on this. Father James Martin, uh, yeah, I don't think he'll be named a cardinal. Now, this is actually going to happen in just a few days, and so I think usually Taylor Marshall does a video on the new cardinals, and I think you can get a rundown from some of these guys, and I can probably have a reaction. I don't know. Stay tuned for that. We'll see what happens, depending on who they are and um, what their backgrounds are. So, all right, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Actually, let's see here. Nobody said anything when they lambasted Lefebvre while promoting Delubach and Congar. Nobody said anything. Okay, so, um, yeah, but that was then. This is now. You know, and I get it. You know, um, speaking of Lefebvre, like I said, I think Francis is going to promote a bunch of anti-Latin Mass cardinals at this point. These cardinals, they're stomping out the Latin Mass, or these bishops, sorry, I mean, some cardinals too, but bishops are stomping out the Latin Mass to say, to basically jump in line behind Pope Francis, and they're saying, hey, I want a promotion. And the way to do that is to stomp out the Latin Mass. Um, because I don't know. It seems like that's what Francis wants, to stomp out the Latin Mass. He wants to promote these LMNOP um, cardinals and bishops, or bishops to cardinal, and he overall wants to distort the Catholic faith. How do you do that? Well, you promote a bunch of bad guys, and these guys are going to be electing the next pope. One of these cardinals are going to be the next pope, and so it's sad to see, but this is just another step further in towards the Francis Church, and can we get a resolution? Well, when will it end? I don't know. All right, thank you so much for watching. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.